Hey everybody, it's Lo and welcome back to my channel, Lo Without Limits. Today I'm going to share with you 5 easy money saving tips. So if you want to see that, then just keep watching. When I started Lo Without Limits a couple years ago, the whole purpose was to figure out adulthood through wellness and wonder and share on YouTube and share what I learn as I go through my 20s. So one thing that I am learning as I go through my 20s are different ways to save money. So I went to film school. I don't know a lot about finance. You throw a finance word at me, don't know it. And many people say this before, but it's just not something that you're taught in school as a kid growing up either. You're never really taught about mortgages and interest rates and loans and all these different things until you're kind of hit with it as an adult, and it's like, figure it out. So while I'm not going to give you all the answers to those things because I also still do not know them, I am going to share 5 tips to save money. That way when you do have to pay off those loans or those interest rates are coming, in other words that I don't know what I'm saying, you have some money to do it. So the very first one is to cut down on unnecessary expenses. So an expense like this would be, for the ladies or men too, is getting your nails done. So a lot of people will go and get a manicure and pedicure every few weeks, and that really adds up. Now, of course, I'm not one to talk because I do have a manicure right now that I got a couple weeks ago for Valentine's Day, but that was probably like my first gel manicure and pedicure that I've gotten in like a year and a half maybe. I never really go just because the maintenance, the upkeep, and just from that I spent $80 for a pedicure and gel manicure, which is insane. And to think that some people may do that every few weeks or even just once a month, that really adds up. That's over $1,000 a year just on having your nails done. So where I like to cut expenses is save that $80 and put it more towards nail polishes and things that I like. So one company that I've been loving lately, it targeted me on Instagram, is Olive and June. You can get the whole little manicure set. So you have like the buffer, the cuticle thing. It comes with a little pot of nail polish remover, and you can get a bunch of different nail polishes, and they're all pretty inexpensive as well. And they're so cute. So I have a handful of these. I love the neutrals. So of course, when this gel manicure does eventually come off, I'm not gonna go and redo it. I'm just gonna paint my nails as I want to. So I don't always have them painted, but when I do want to get them painted, throw a little color on my nails, I just do it myself. Find it very meditative, sit in front of the TV, just kind of like chill and paint my nails. And also because I am typing a lot and editing a lot, they will chip every once in a while. So for me, it's also kind of a waste of money to go to a salon and spend a ton of money for it to be like a little chipped at the end of the week, when I can easily have my own nail polish, which just costs me a few bucks, paint them, and then at the end of the week, if I'm noticing a chip here and there, just fill it in as I need to. That way it can look good longer. So that is my first tip, is to cut down on expenses that you don't need to, like beauty stuff, manicures, pedicures. The second place, and tip number 2, where you can cut down on expenses, is coffee and eating out. I do have a finance log from Erin Condren where every Monday I kind of like go through my bank statement and see where I spent money, and at the end of the month kind of add it up to see where I spent it on coffee, dining out, groceries, different things like that. And there are some times, especially a few months ago during award season, where my Starbucks just kept adding up, because I would reload my card, 20 bucks, scan it, and then go and get another snack, go and get another coffee, and I'm 10 cents short. So reload it with 20 bucks, scan it, and at the end of the month I spent $80 on reloading my Starbucks card, which is a lot. When you can get a mug, this one's so old and it's just like beat up because I've actually had it for so long, and just get coffee on the go. You can either make it at your place, but for me, sometimes I don't have time to make my coffee in the morning, so I'll just take my mug, throw a little bit of ghee in there. I get the vanilla ghee, which is so good. And then at work they have a Keurig or just like a coffee machine there, and fill it up once I get into the office. So that way it's free. All I'm paying for is my mug, which after all the uses it's gotten has definitely paid for itself, and then just going to work and filling it up there. And same with meal prepping. Instead of dining out and spending around 15 bucks, at least in LA, around 15 bucks every single day for lunch, at the end of the week, if you do that for 5 days, 75 bucks right there just on food, which when you buy out one, you don't know what you're getting, and two, it's not always the most filling, or it's hard to find, and it could even be more if you're like super busy at work and you don't have time to step out of the office to grab lunch. When you start adding up those Postmates and Uber Eats delivery fees, it's quite the expensive lunch. So just by buying all your groceries over the weekend, meal prepping, taking them with you, even if you meal prep just 3 out of the 5 days of the week for your lunch, or 4 out of the 5 days, and then on Fridays maybe treat yourself a little bit, you're still saving so much money, and you know what's going in your food, and you know that you'll like it, and you know that it'll fill you up because you're obviously pre-packaging your own portions, and it's just so much easier and so much healthier. So not only does that help you with your budget, but that also just helps you with your health overall. And I have so many videos on my channel of different grocery hauls and meal preps. I'll link those down below, and I'll definitely keep making more. People seem to really like those. So if you need any help on meal prep ideas, definitely check out the links down below, or head to my Instagram, where I'll also post a lot of lunches that I take to work. That is also Low Without Limits. So I know I said that the financial economic jargon goes straight over my head, but it is something that I'm trying to learn more of. And something that I started almost a year ago was my Roth IRA. So a Roth IRA, I believe you're allowed to take it out for a fee if you ever did need it for a rainy day, but you can just put it in every single, like a little bit in every single month, and it will add up. So when I was working my very first job, since it was through NBC, after a year being at NBC, they did start to do 401k matching. So if you do have an employer that offers 401k and 401k matching, definitely go up to the highest that they can do. I believe I was allowed to put in 3.5% of my paycheck, and they would match up to 2.5%. So I put in my 3.5 and they did match up to 2.5. So my 401k for those last few months that I was there definitely did get a little start. So definitely look into if your job offers it. It's hard for me now, being in the entertainment industry and being freelance, that I'm not really on a payroll that, or at a company that allows for like benefits and 401k like that, like how I was back with NBC. But if you have a regular job, definitely look into it. It's most likely something that you can get if you just ask your employer or ask HR. Again, also don't really know how regular jobs work. But because I am freelance, and you can also do this if you're not and you just want a little bit of extra money on the side, is to start your retirement stuff early. And this is also something that I wish I started a few years ago, but I'm also happy I'm starting it now versus waiting until I'm later in my 20s, because these years, while it may just be a few years, that's 24 months that I could be adding. So I started a Roth IRA through Vanguard. Definitely look into what company you like the most, but a lot of my friends did through Vanguard, and just based on my own research, it's a company that I kind of like get, and I just like understood their process, and like their whole like website layout was just very easy for me, again being somebody who doesn't understand a lot of this. So I started my Roth IRA, and every month for the first couple months, at the beginning of the month, I was putting $100 from my checking account into my Roth IRA. And now that I'm like, that was also when I wasn't working as frequently, and now that I do have a more stable income, I am putting $150 into my Roth IRA account. So I believe I have a little over $1,000 in there. Again, it hasn't even been a year, so not too much. And through Vanguard, once you reach $1,000, you can move $1,000 or more into a mutual money settlement fund, I think. So for me, I'm 24 right now, born in 95, so my target retirement date would be 2060. So I have a mutual target fund 2060, and I transferred $1,000 from my Roth IRA into that fund. And what that does is it automatically invests into stocks and bonds for you, especially if you're somebody who, again, like me, doesn't know what any of that is. So bonds are a lot more stable, but they don't have as high of a return as a stock would. So stocks are a lot more volatile, but you can, if you invest wisely, get a lot more money having stocks. So what the mutual target fund does is it sees, okay, you have about 40 more years until you're retiring. So while you're young and while you still have a lot of time to put money into it, we're going to invest a lot of this into stocks. So you might lose a lot, but you might also gain a lot. And as I slowly get older, it'll slowly start like shifting this pie chart to be less stocks and more bonds. That way it can stabilize and I can have a lot more money just saved in my account. So by the time I do reach retirement age, that $150 that I'm putting in every month now can be a lot more. And I believe you can actually put in up to $6,000 every single year, which would be about $500 a month. So for right now, well, $150 is what I can afford and what I can do. As I do get higher paying jobs, I will put more and more into my retirement account. And it is definitely something I think you should all look into. You don't have to put in a ton. And again, once you reach that $1,000 mark, it can just start making money on its own. And also going off of retirement, something that, not retirement, but off of investing in stocks, something that I've gotten into in the last couple months is just like small investing, and I've been doing that through the app Robinhood. So what I've done for that is the last 2 months that I've had it, just at the beginning of the month when I put my $150 into my Roth IRA, is put $25 into my Robinhood account, which I'm just not doing that great right now. So I put in $50 total over the last 2 months, and I now have $56.12. So a slight increase, nothing too great. I actually haven't checked it super recently. But what you can just do is you buy stocks. So I have I have 2 in GE and then 1 in Snapchat because it's all I can afford at the moment. And then a few in some cryptocurrency, which actually has done pretty well. It's Ethereum Classic. I also really don't get crypto, but it was cheap and I was like, it seems to be doing well. But yeah, so if I do have more money, like Tesla's one that's really cool to invest in right now. And also I feel like a lot more connected to a company when you're like, oh, I do have like a little bit of stock in it. So it's just also like something really cool and something so easy to do. Like you don't have to be super on top of it. You don't have to be in economics. You don't have to understand stocks to just throw some money. And then this app Robinhood is also really good about teaching you what you're also doing. So if you don't have that, but you want to try to like dabble in it a little bit with even just $10 a month or something, it's definitely something worth looking into. And my last money saving tip is to just check your bills and make sure you're not being overcharged for anything. There was a few months where I was being overcharged from Spectrum. So my cable or my Wi-Fi is about $70. I don't have cable, that's strictly Wi-Fi. And they kept calling me about, do you wanna like try this TV thing? Do you wanna try this TV thing? So they're like, we'll give it to you for like a month free. So I was like, fine, just so they would stop calling me. It was so annoying. And I thought after that month, they'll call me back, be like, do you wanna keep it? I just kind of forgot about it. My bad. So I didn't even use it because when I do watch TV, it's like Hulu, Netflix, which I'm paying for Hulu. I use my dad's Netflix. I'm just not sitting here watching TV. The only thing I will like want to watch is The Bachelor, which I just watch Tuesday mornings on my laptop when they put it on Hulu. So that way by the time I get into work, I already watched it. So it's like I knew what was going on. So that's the only thing. Other than that, I don't really care too much as someone that works in the TV industry. It's not something that I'm sitting here doing because I am working so much that I don't have the time to sit and watch TV, and I just forgot about it. So then I was starting to look at my bill, and instead of $70 a month, it was more like $150. And then, because I was just automatically paying, again, not really thinking about it. So I looked back on my account and I was like, oh, I've been paying $150 for a couple months now. So I called them and I was like, hey, I just want to know what this extra charge is. And I didn't approve. And they're like, oh, it's this TV provider thing that you tried out for a month. And I was like, yeah, I tried it out for a month, didn't use it, don't want it. They were super understanding. They're like, okay, sorry, and we'll give you those last 2 months that we charged you $150 instead of $70, we'll credit that back to your account. So I was like, cool. But had I not caught that, I would have kept paying $150, $150, $150. And that's over double what I was paying for just my Wi-Fi, which is all I need just to have something that I'm not using. So I was super happy I caught it. So if that's something that you haven't looked at lately, it's just all your bills and everything that's just being automatically paid every single month. Maybe stop, take like an hour or so to look at it and be like, what am I actually paying for in all these bills? And you might get some money back when we catch something that you don't really need. And those are my 5 easy money saving tips. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what your money saving tips are. I would love to learn. I'm sure everybody else that looks in the comments would also love to learn. And again, I'm no economic finance person, so please leave any links to anything that would teach me as well. I'm so eager to learn about this, especially now that I'm in my mid-20s. It's definitely something that I wish I knew a few years ago as well. So again, leave all that down below, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. I upload a new video every Wednesday. So until the next one, thanks for watching.